This week's Extra Life on F5 Live is proudly powered by EXA. EXA brings the latest technology to gamers, offering the most immersive products for the ultimate gaming experience. They've compiled the best elements like ENC Tech, the latest in Bluetooth 5.0, 7.1 surround, plus extra features like dual mics, low latency, all into their headsets for the best gaming experience. And they've got headsets for Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC that won't break the bank. Learn more about the headsets that are available and any current promotions that are going on by going to f5live.tv/exa. Last week was the top of Summer Games Fest, and this week is the bottom of it. The event has pretty much come to a close, and with that came the Xbox and Bethesda showcase, and boy did they show off a lot of stuff. But I will tell you that it is not the games that shone the brightest, at least not for me. The thing that made itself the most prevalent was cloud gaming as a whole. Almost every game that was shown off, and there were 38 of them, almost every game that was shown off that will come to Xbox and or PC over the next 12 months, of which all of these games will, almost all of them are also coming to Xbox cloud gaming. That is a huge commitment to the platform, but it's also a huge commitment to the expanded Xbox ecosystem, right? Xbox originally was a console. Steve Ballmer expanded it too far, but brought the Xbox brand into the PC, and now we know that it's available on, well, officially on Android, through the web browser on iOS, and of course through the app on Windows. But we also found out that it's coming to Samsung Smart TVs this year. So the 2022 models of Samsung Smart TVs that run on Tizen are going to be getting Xbox Cloud Gaming before the end of the year, which is a huge deal because it's really the first push past standard, right? We consider certain devices to be gaming devices. Even our phones at this point, can be easily considered to be gaming devices. But the TV itself really hasn't been. There have been attempts, right? Apple TV theoretically has some games in it, but I think even Apple has mostly abandoned that concept at this point. Google Stadia, again, I think Google has mostly abandoned that as a standalone service. They're using it for a lot of licensed stuff at this point for white labeling. GeForce Now, a slightly different concept.
You could play that on NVIDIA Shield, so that
right.
sort of turns it into a console. Also, right. Roku has some games on it, I think. Nothing too great, but it doesn't have something.
But certainly not something like...
Not Xbox.
Certainly not Redfall from Bethesda, right?
Right.
And that's the kind of thing that really stood out to me on this, is that games like Redfall, which we've been looking forward to, or High on Life, the new game from the creator of Rick and Morty, all of these games are going to be available on cloud gaming, which is a pretty big deal. They're putting a lot of resources behind that, and you'll be able to play them on Samsung Smart TVs. Just the TV and a controller, you're good to go, which is pretty impressive. We know Microsoft's been working on a streaming stick to be able to deal with non-Samsung Smart TVs for right now, but possibly this is a prototype. We'll see more come in the future. They're really putting a lot of resources behind this. They obviously feel confident in the quality of the service that we once knew of as Project X Cloud. The other thing that was not the games was Game Pass. Just like Xbox Cloud Gaming, almost every one of these games, in fact, maybe all of these games, are going to be available on Game Pass. All the new games at launch. Some of the announcements were specifically these things are coming to Game Pass. But all the new games, I think all of the new games will be on Game Pass day one. 38 titles were mentioned, including the games that are existing, that are coming to Xbox and therefore Game Pass. But I mean, that's a lot of new titles coming to Game Pass, and that doesn't even count all of the things that are going to come to it naturally that are older games. Plus, who knows if the Activision acquisition goes through, right? Who knows what that looks like?
Yeah.
That's a huge thing for Game Pass. They're putting a lot of resources behind their services.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely an evolution of the availability of cloud gaming. I think obviously having the same company that has control of the platform, promote and a lot of control, not control over all the games, but a lot of control over the games, seems
They
to
certainly decide what is and is not allowed on the platform. They can prevent you from
right.
publishing to Xbox.
Right. So they have, they're in a much better position than, say, Google is,
Right.
or Nvidia is, to exert some control and influence over the publishers.
Sure. And
Which,
look at how many of the publishers are theirs now, right?
right.
Bethesda, which brings all of the Fallout stuff, all of the Fable stuff, under their umbrella. That's a big deal. Minecraft, of which a new Minecraft thing was announced. Minecraft
Yes,
Legends.
Minecraft Legends.
That's all in house. They have full control over what they do with that.
Right, exactly. So they could decide to put that on game on
And
the new Minecraft on Game Pass.
And all first-party titles, Microsoft made this commitment, all first-party titles will be Game Pass day one. And they made that commitment. So why would you buy them? A year ago. Exactly. And so
is there's
so I did the math on exactly that. Why would you buy them? 38 titles were announced during this presentation. If you were to purchase all of them, assuming that all of them are AAA titles and will sell for $60, it's $2,280, I believe. It might be $2,200. $2,280 to purchase them, or $180 for Ultimate, which comes with Xbox and PC plus cloud gaming.
What if you only wanted to play like 3 games?
It comes out.
It may not.
Then it comes out even.
Right. So if they're 3 AAA games, if you want to play Minecraft, however, that's $20. So not quite. Mm-hmm. I don't know what Minecraft Legends will cost, but Minecraft regular, I think, is $20. Right. So you do have to, if you're someone whose kid just wants to play Minecraft, I don't think you need to get this. But if you have to actually want to play a few games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. But, let's just look at the top of this list. If you want Redfall, Hollow Knight, Silksong, and High on Life, almost certainly all of those are going to be AAA $60 titles. And those are just the first 3 that they talked about. You've gone even on Game Pass for the next 12 months.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously... it's obviously a great step forward.
Plus, Ultimate also has Xbox Live.
Yep. So I guess what you're saying is that my friend Tony, who wrote the article, the tweet, and then an article about why he was unsubscribing from Xbox Game Pass, is going to have to because they didn't have enough AAA games. He's going to have to resubscribe.
Have to reconsider for sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of those AAA titles. I've mentioned Redfall a couple of times simply because it's how they open the show. It looks like a fascinating game. Something like Left 4 Dead meets Stranger Things. A 4-player co-op, but instead of zombies, you're fighting vampires, and instead of jumping around the country, ish, which is kind of what happens in the Left 4 Dead titles, you're stuck on an island. But it's very Left 4 Dead in a really interesting way. It looked like a ton of fun and totally up my alley. I'm stoked for that one. And since it's Bethesda, you can probably accidentally walk through walls. So, that'll make the game way more interesting. For those who don't know, Bethesda is known for having issues with solid objects staying solid. That one is coming to Xbox, PC Cloud, and Steam in sometime next year. High on Life, I'm going to skip Hollow Knight. High on Life looked hilarious. If you were a fan of Rick and Morty and or what's it called, Solar Opposites on Hulu, this game is for you. It is all of the comedy that you have come to expect from Justin Roiland, including Morty's voice, because he does very few actual voices. The trailer definitely contains Morty's voice. The weapons have names and personalities, which is exactly what I would expect from him. But most importantly, it looks hilarious. Essentially a first-person shooter with a talking gun, with the comedy of Rick and Morty. I'm in. And that one's coming October of this year to Xbox, PC, and Cloud. Obviously, when it comes to an Xbox presentation, it's never complete without Forza. I am not a racing fan, and I find the Forza stuff this year really interesting. The damage is beyond anything I've seen before. They're going to track each individual scratch on the car, and each...
Are they going to charge you a fee to fix it?
Probably in game, the currency that you get for winning matches, which is how you are also able to buy and maintain other components on the car. You're able to customize your vehicle in ways that you couldn't before, including tire management, which has never been considered in all of this. The thing that I find most interesting, though, is this dynamic time of day thing. Throughout the day, the track will actually change. Obviously, you've got lighting, but you've also got ambient temperature. As the temperature goes down, your road grip changes from your tires, all kinds of things like that. It's really a fascinating aspect of the game. You can run the same match at noon and midnight. You could drive exactly the same way and have vastly different results, which is something that I find very interesting. The customization on the vehicles has gone through the roof. That one is coming out in spring of 2023. However, Hot Wheels are back. In Forza Horizon 5, Hot Wheels tracks are back this year. And so those classic orange and blue plastic tracks that so many people are familiar with, that caused so many problems in the actual Hot Wheels racer. Not a problem here. It is a racer that has added the plastic tracks. Previous versions, Horizon 4 had it. Previous versions were a ton of fun, but with all of the enhancements that Horizon 5 got over 4, this should be a ton of fun. If you got to play the actual Hot Wheels racer, you know just how much fun this is going to be. And that one comes out July 18th. So that's only a month away.
Isn't there a dedicated Hot Wheels racing game, or
Yes.
haven't there been
Yes.
ones that had the orange track in it before?
Yes, the Hot Wheels Racer, I think that's actually the name of it, is available now. It's really fun, and it has its problems. It's like early Mario Kart, where they didn't expect people to take it as seriously as they did. And so there are easy ways to just, like, jump off the end and land further down the track and all kinds of things that the early Mario Karts had. I don't think they were expecting it to have the audience that it ended up having. I think they were expecting the audience to be your son and not you and I. And the audience was you and I.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, his son had moved on from Hot Wheels, except that his bed is still Hot Wheels because we haven't bought him a new bed. So he doesn't
Nice.
complain. So
Okay.
when he earned his, big boy bed after potty training, and that was like 6 years ago or something. We got him a bed that looks like a Hot Wheels car, and he still still sleeps in it. It has
I seem to remember that.
it yeah, it has. We don't use them really, but it has tracks on it. Like you can roll your car down the side of the bed or whatever, and you could even get. It came with. I think we took it off. It came with the little pieces of orange tracks. So you could like put a ramp at the end of the bed and like roll the car, and it would just sort of roll onto the floor. The bed has a spoiler above the head where the headboard is,
Sure.
and you can put like Hot Wheels cars on it to like store them. And it has headlights that are like flashlights that you can turn on. So, although my daughter keeps pointing out one of the hubcaps came off, but off the bed, but
That's funny.
hey, not not bad. I don't know. Now she's more interested in the car bed stuff than he is. But anyway, yeah. So, but those playing orange tracks in like a kind of serious Forza way would be pretty cool.
Right. And it was really popular on Horizon 4, and I can't wait to see it on Horizon 5. We don't have to wait long. It'll be available in just over a month. Once again, Xbox, PC, Cloud, and Steam. Microsoft Flight Simulators got two things coming. 40th Anniversary Edition is coming next year. But the thing that I found most interesting was Halo Infinite. You're going to be able to fly Halo ships within the context of Flight Simulator, within the atmosphere and outside of the atmosphere. I'm in. That's good enough for me. And if that is as interesting to you as it is to me, good news, available now. And it's a free add-on. If you have purchased the game, it's a free add-on. And if you're a Game Pass member, obviously, add-ons are free. That's what Game Pass is all about. So, go play. If you like turn-based strategies, Ara History Untold looks really interesting. It looks like a really souped-up Age of Empires or Civilization. Graphics are really high quality. Looks like a lot of fun. There's an insider program, which definitely suggests that it's from inside, like directly inside Microsoft Studios, because they used the term insider program. So that's available now. The game is coming eventually. It sounds a lot like Grounded. Here's a preview. The game will happen at some point. Speaking of, Grounded. The final game is finally coming out this year, which is exciting. It looks like a significantly bigger game than what the preview had suggested, which I'm excited about because I enjoyed the preview. It's a fun little game. It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in game form, but with a story behind it that's more than just get back to the house. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. What else have we got? I've got lots of games in here. Like I said, there were 38 titles. I'm skipping around a little bit. I've got a link to all of the trailers if you missed them, and then some of my favorites in the article. As Dusk Falls. I don't know if you've seen this one, Avram. As Dusk Falls looks like you're playing a comic book. It's very interesting. I don't know if the entire game plays the way the trailer plays, but if so, they're taking a huge risk. They're taking a Mirror's Edge level huge risk on switching up gameplay and doing something unique. It, without seeing the trailer, I don't entirely know how to describe it other than you're playing a choose your own adventure comic book. I'm going to give it a try. Luckily, I don't have to wait. It comes out the day after.
Yeah.
The day after the Hot Wheels track does, July 19th. But it looks weird, and I wanted so badly to love Mirror's Edge, and I didn't. But it was only because I didn't really enjoy the odd gameplay, but I enjoyed it for the odd gameplay, if that makes sense. I appreciated that EA took a weird leap, gave it a shot. It didn't quite work. Some people loved it, some people hated it. And these guys are taking a weird leap too. And I'm hoping it works out for them, because I think we need more weird leaps, right? We've got fighting games, we've got first-person shooters, we've got real-time strategy, we've got, action RPGs. And that's kind of what we've limited ourselves to. So I like the idea of throwing some interesting new stuff into the mix. New stuff is coming to Sea of Thieves. You can be a captain, name your ship, design your ship. The thing that Microsoft was most excited about, however, was Starfield, and for good reason. Really interesting role-playing game. It's Bethesda again. All the things that you're used to from Bethesda games. Massive customization of your character, beyond anything they've ever had. You can customize your look. You can choose predetermined personality sets, and then there are secondary features that you can add on, and then obviously expand your character by learning new things and collecting things. You can also create your own spaceship, which I enjoy the concept of. They showed off a lot of very different ships. And then you can fly them around off into space to land on more than 1,000 planets. What's interesting about this is it takes the idea of No Man's Sky and kind of knocks it up a notch. In that you can land on any, essentially, pixel of every one of the 1,000+ planets. So you want to land in this particular spot on the planet? Yep. Not you land on the planet in one of a couple of predetermined areas. You can literally set down wherever you want, which is fascinating. Gives you a lot of unique freedom to play the game kind of how you want. That one's coming next year. Once again, Xbox, PC, Cloud, Steam, all coming next year, and obviously Game Pass. There's a lot more games. I've got links to all of them in the article, but I mean, it was as big and as exciting of a presentation as Sony's was, which is great. I'm so glad to see the two of them both putting them up, It too often it's like Sony won this year, Microsoft won this year. This year, they're both ready to fight. And I think as far as gamers are concerned, I think that's great. Because that'll up the level of gameplay for players on both platforms. So
Gamers won this year.
Yeah, exactly. And Kojima is doing a game for Xbox, which is really hard to wrap my head around, because he's basically always been PlayStation. The idea of him doing a big Xbox exclusive title is very strange, but as an Xbox primary game player, I'm excited about it. I'm excited to have Kojima bring a big title over to Xbox. He said that literally that's what we know, is there's a game coming, and the cloud is somehow important to it. Nobody knows what that means. I'm not entirely sure he knows what it means yet. But he's excited that Microsoft's working with him. So that's pretty cool. Did you get to see much of the stuff from Microsoft yesterday?
No, I did not, but I not seen much of it. But when I saw the Legends trailer, the
Mm-hmm.
Minecraft Legends trailer, I had to show it to my son, and he
Of
is
course.
super excited about it because it has something to do with Minecraft.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because it obviously looks, as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, well, obviously this is Minecraft. Oh, it's not quite so obvious because the visuals kept changing. It was sometimes you're like, oh, this is very Minecraft, and oh, no, this is not visually very Minecraft.
Yeah,
There's more rounded bits
I,
and a little bit more detail to it than I'm used to. Um,
yeah,
so
I'd like to see what it's really about. How much is it going to be like Minecraft Dungeons versus like regular Minecraft versus its own things?
or Minecraft stories. Uh,
Yes,
I
like
think from
story mode.
Telltale.
Yes, the story mode.
Oh, that's right. They
Yeah,
did
I
end
guess
up
we'll
buying
see.
the rights for that back, didn't they? And they renamed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm not a Minecraft person, but I'm always interested in seeing how they can take that world and change the gameplay. That's always interesting.
Yep.
They've done it. They've done it a couple of times. You know, even the mobile game. You know, they've taken that world and they've switched up the gameplay a couple of times in really interesting and unique ways. So I definitely look forward to seeing what they're up to with that. So if you want, like I said, if you want more information about the other games or to see all of the trailers and all of the video, there's some gameplay and everything. All of it's available over on our YouTube channel. We've got a playlist with all the content. And then the article on PLUGHITZlive.com also has it as well. So definitely go check it out. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of F5 Live Refreshing Technology. If you did, please subscribe to the channel down below, and of course, hit the notification bell because we know that subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. If you've got topics that you'd like us to talk about in the future, please comment them down below. And if you'd like to not follow us on YouTube, there's lots of ways that you can follow along with our content by going to PLUGHITZlive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all of the ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.